So I wanted to do a video talking a little bit about mental health and addiction. And I suppose in my case, addiction being alcohol. I thought we could run a few games of Fortnite and have a little chat. I suppose the story begins um, as a child, really. Me and my three brothers, my beautiful, beautiful mama. We grew up with a pretty violent, abusive father. I mean, I refer to him as biological father now, but he was a horrible man. Horrible man. I think, growing up, I've realized he had a bit of his own, maybe a bit of his own pain and troubles. But anyway, he's a typical narcissist. So anyway, he would beat us up. He would manipulation, mind games. He's a bit of a prick. But anyway, I kind of grew up to my late teens, early 20s, and it all kind of just hit me. I suppose in my like early teenage years, and also as a kid, I kind of just it's like they're saying open up the can of worms. I kind of put it to the side, and I don't think I did on purpose, but I think it just naturally happened that way, where I just put it to the side. Maybe it was a coping mechanism. It wasn't something that I did on purpose. But anyway, I got to about 18, 19, 20, and it all kind of just hit me, and I was in a huge amount of pain, emotional, mental pain. I was in a lot of pain. Anyway, I didn't know how to cope with what was going on, so I suppose I turned to alcohol. I became it kind of just got worse and worse, and by the end of my alcohol addiction, I was kind of drinking 35 bottles every night. I really messed up my liver. Had some health issues, and when I would drink, I suppose mental health and addiction, mental health and depression, I suppose, don't go well together. I guess your true self comes out. This is when I'd start to get really suicidal, and I suppose self-harm a lot. I mainly wanted to make this video for anyone that's having similar struggles at the moment. Talk a little bit about how I got sober. I've now been sober for over 18 months. Sorry, 28 months. It definitely wasn't easy, and I had a lot of support. I had a lot of support from mental health services, my friends, my family, and it's still a daily struggle for me, but I believe it's a struggle worth fighting for. So yeah, alcohol became my biggest coping mechanism. Anyway, so a little bit about how I got off the alcohol. I got in a bit of trouble. I got a bit of trouble with the law, and it was a bit of a wake up call for me, really. Spent the weekend in the cells. It was horrible, but it's just a reminder that actions have consequences, and I soon realized that. So anyway, I spent the Friday to Monday in the police cells. Then I kind of went through the court system. I got bail. I had bail conditions. I couldn't message my mum. I couldn't go within, I think it was about 500 meters of mum's house. Couldn't speak to mum for about 6 months. It was really not nice, but I do believe that with alcoholism or drugs, I mean, I haven't done drugs, but I imagine it might be similar. You sometimes just need a bit of a wake-up call, and that is exactly what I had. I got in a bit of trouble, and I went through the legal system. His name was Angry Roommate. So anyway, and then after that, I got bail, and then I went to a supported living environment where, it's kind of like pre-treatment, where people would go, either have just come from rehab or about to go to rehab. So I was there for maybe 2 or 3 months. My relationship with him didn't end great. Bro, that guy's in a cheeky spot. But I am gonna get him. I don't know how he got there, but oh, I'm dead. GG. Broke my bail conditions. I went back and lived with mum. Yeah, and then I kind of made amends with mum. I apologized, and after I got sober, I soon realized how much damage I caused with the relationships that I had, friends, family. I with my alcohol addiction, I caused a lot of pain for people. Spent between 6 and 9 months in a mental hospital. But if it wasn't for them putting me in mental hospital, I don't know if I'd still be here. So I'm grateful for that. But yeah, these days, I suppose I'm feeling a lot more. I still struggle. I still got crippling anxiety, really bad depression, a lot of trauma, have nightmares during the night, flashbacks during the day. But I suppose I'm feeling a little bit more hopeful for the future. Go to counseling once a week, and my motivation for counseling is the idea of having a little son one day. That's all. That's my motivation every day. When I, sometimes I'm just like, I really don't want to go and talk about my issues right now, and then I think about having a little version, a little Cheltenham 77, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to counseling, bro. And yeah, in counseling we're doing EMDR, which is type of trauma counseling. Yeah, I really wanted to do this video. I've been thinking about it for a while now, but I just wasn't sure how to do it. And then yesterday I thought we could just run a few games of Fortnite and have a little chat. Another thing I could talk about is saw my biological father in 2018. I was in a place where I was just desperate for answers. I wanted to know, why did you do this stuff? Why did you do this to me and my family? So anyway, I met up with him and I kind of put everything on the table. I was there crying. I was like, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Why'd you put my arm under an oven grill as a kid? Lots of stuff that I some of it may not be appropriate for YouTube. And he looked at me in the eyes and he just said, get over it. That was one of the hardest things I've ever had to hear, and have such little, in fact, no remorse. No remorse whatsoever. And I just thought to myself, what a prick. Hey, he's a cool dude. He's like, come on now. Come on now. Bro, we went to killing each other, man. We went to killing each other. He said to me, you said, you've had 15 years to get over this. You're still going on about it. I'm like, all right. I said back to him, you've had 15 years to change. And you're the same old prick. Don't try and put it on me, man. Don't, your actions for what you did to me and my family. Don't try and put it on me. Just because just because you can't own your actions, don't try and put it on me. As a kid, I may not have understood what was going on. At the time, I think I was about 23, 24. I looked back and I did understand what was going on. So don't try and put it on me, man. I didn't let him do that. I've decided I'll never see the guy again. I'll never see him again. I mean, why would you want someone in your life that's just gonna have no remorse, treat you like garbage? And I suppose I've come to the place where I'd rather know dad for the rest of my life than a dad that's going to play mind games. He's not going to try any physical stuff on me because he just wouldn't stand a chance. But emotionally, I'm terrified of the guy. Not physically, emotionally, I'm terrified of the guy. That's why I refer to him as biological father. He never went to prison. That's something I really struggle with. And I feel like that's a big reason why I struggle with authority, is because I don't feel like me and my family ever got any justice. I'm really passionate about justice, I like watching true crime. Like, I like watching murder documentaries. And recently I've realized why. I mean, there's two reasons. One, I enjoy seeing how the detectives solve it, but I feel like the main reason is I get to the end of the documentary and I see justice. I'm passionate about justice. I really am. He'll get his justice. I imagine. I don't know what will. I just have to. I just have to. Oh, a bit of a fly. I just have to find peace and eventually come to a place of forgiveness. And something my mum always tells me is forgiveness is not. It's not for them. It's not for him. I couldn't. Honestly, I couldn't care less about him. But it's for yourself. I do realize that now. It's important to forgive, so I do agree with mother on that one. Hope this video has made a bit of sense. I suppose I'm not the greatest storyteller. The story's, I guess, been a bit all over the place. Hopefully I've done an alright job of explaining the story. This will be my first, I guess, proper YouTube video on YouTube. I've actually just moved over from Twitch to YouTube about a week ago. But yeah, I do hope that this video helps, maybe. Hope you get something from it. Hear a little bit about my heart, I'm very passionate about justice. I'm very passionate about mental health. I hope to work in mental health one day. I don't think I'm well enough at the moment. I'm still struggle very much in this life, I really do. I sleep without medication. I take medication for depression. I've just gone back on Ritalin. But yeah, I suppose I wish would be the case is, I heard one time people talking about having never licensed to have a dog. And you have to do like a test, and because there's a lot of animal cruelty in this world, and I agree. Like I don't want to see animal cruelty, but I'm like, if you have to have a license to have a dog, then shouldn't you have to have a license to have children? Like there's far too many parents in this world that just don't parent properly. In fact, they do the opposite, and they abuse their children, mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually. And I'm just like, I get that people have issues. Like if I had children now, I'd be a terrible dad. And that's why I make sure that I want to deal with my stuff before I have children, because I want to break the chain. I don't want to bring children into this world and to do what my biological father did, you know? I've experienced what it's like to grow up into your late teens, early 20s, and just being a huge amount of emotional pain. I will definitely deal with my issues before I think about relationships or children, you know? I still yet to sleep with a woman. I'm 26, you know, there's not many, I suppose, people my age that would be able to say that, but I don't see it as an accomplishment or anything. I'm just terrified of intimacy with women, and I feel like that's maybe because of how I experienced the man and woman relationship growing up. It was violent, and it was only violent one way, from the man to the woman. Yeah, I mean, I've had the best mum that I could ever ask for. I've said it for a while now, but if it wasn't for my mum, I'd either be dead or in prison, and it's kind of brutal to say, but I truly do believe that. There's been a few things that have kept me off the alcohol. Towards the early days of giving up Coke, it really helped me. It really helped me. It was just something else to hold in my hand, you know, something else that wasn't alcohol. People, you know, friends, family, mental health services played a massive part in me staying sober. But I think one of the biggest reasons, you know, in my everyday life would be gaming and streaming. Those are the two things that, put it bluntly, are probably the reason why I'm still alive. Because if I had gone back to alcohol, I don't think it would have ended well. So, you know, gaming and streaming, I say it to my friends all the time, I believe have saved my life. You know, and I think that's why a lot of people play computer games, is to just cope with life. Life's hard, man. Life's hard. Life's hard as it is. Some people have deep trauma. Some people have some real big battles going on that some of us don't even know about. Some of us might play an unhealthy amount of games, but if it helps us get through, who cares, man? Who cares, honestly? We've all got our struggles, and we've all got our coping mechanisms. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. But I tend to do more videos in the future. If you want to, you know, hear more or get to know me a bit better, I stream every day on YouTube. On this channel, I'm streaming a lot of Fortnite at the moment. So, you know, if you want to chat about any of the stuff on stream, then you are more than welcome. Yeah, so I'll leave the video there, but much love to you guys. Big love. I hope that you are doing well. I hope you're taking care of yourself. Subscribe if you feel like it. Drop a like on the video. I'd really appreciate that. Yeah, big love to you guys. I'll catch you in the next video.